Hey, it's Enigma Hood, and I want to talk about animal rights today. Why do I care about animal rights? Or why should anyone care about animal rights? Well, because we live on this planet and we share this planet with other life forms, and these other life forms are important to me. They are meaningful to me. I like animals. I love animals. That's why I care. I do support PETA. I'm not a member of PETA. I don't think I would want to be a member of PETA, but I like what they do. I'm in favor for any animal rights group, and everyone should be. Okay, I want to touch base on a few topics regarding animal rights. Let's start with hunting. I despise hunting. Hunting for sport is sadistic and wrong. But before we talk about hunting for sport, let's talk about killing animals for food. Now, I eat animals. I eat meat. And I don't feel like I'm a hypocrite or that I am doing something wrong, necessarily, although some vegetarians might feel I'm doing something wrong. But here's my rationale. A lion, or bear, or tiger, or a wolf has to do what it has to do in order to live. As long as I'm alive, as long as anything is alive, every life form has to derive energy from something. And most life forms have to derive that energy by making some other life form suffer. It's just the way it is. It's how life works. In order for one life form to live and to prosper, something else has to die. It's a terrible thing. I wish it didn't have to be like that, but it is like that. Vegetarians, they eat plants. In order for them to survive, they have to take the life of the plant. I'm only in favor of killing animals in order to eat them for food. And even then, it's only animals that are abundant, like cattle, chicken, things like that. These animals are abundant. Yes, we are killing them for food, but we're doing what we have to survive. And I don't think that's wrong. Although I wish that I was vegetarian. I wish I could have that kind of willpower. But actually, according to the evolution of humanity, part of the reason why our brains grew so large was because we ate meat. It stimulated brain growth. If you look at most of the animals on this planet that are intelligent, dolphins, pigs, chimpanzees, Homo sapiens, all these animals eat meat. Pigs are omnivores, so they either eat just meat or they eat meat and plants. So, we're just trying to survive, and I think that's acceptable. What is not acceptable is killing for sport, because that is killing for pure enjoyment, for just the entertainment. You are deriving pleasure from watching something die. One of the things that I detest the most, and that people should be more aware of, is bullfighting that goes on in Spain and other countries which have Spanish culture, which were influenced by Spanish culture. Bullfighting is the most sadistic and cruel blood sport that I've seen. These assholes, these motherfuckers are killing bulls with spears and swords and shit like that for pure enjoyment. They are literally watching this thing bleed to death just for their own amusement, and that is sick and wrong, and I really don't give a fuck about any of those bullfighters who get killed by the bull. Fuck them. I don't give a shit about them. Okay. Now, back to the point about, vegetarians that only consume plants. Some asshole, dumbass motherfucker might say, well, you're still taking the life of another organism, so that's wrong. Okay. I respect vegetarians a lot. I wish I was one. And here's my argument against the idiots that say stuff like, you're still taking the life of another organism. We all have a line that we draw, where we draw the line at what we feel is ethical and humane. I really don't care about amoebas. I don't really care that much about insects and things like that. I do think that lots of plants are. I like to see trees around. I don't like to see deforestation. So it's an interesting thing about how we formulate our opinions. It depends on the rarity of these organisms too. A rare organism is more precious. Its life is much more precious, so that's why it's more important. But in terms of the line that we draw, well, let's say, for example, we'll take a look at the abortion issue even. Some people draw the line at the baby. They only care about the baby, they don't care about the embryo. So they are drawing an invisible line, right? Some people don't care about the embryo. So that's the line that they draw. My line includes human beings, it includes the embryo, and it also includes other animals. It includes lots of different mammals. It includes lots of different reptiles. I usually draw the line somewhere at, vertebrates. I really don't care that much about invertebrates. That doesn't mean I think we just should arbitrarily slaughter them, but I care more about vertebrates than I do about invertebrates. Some people care about all life forms. I was talking to this one girl. She was telling me a lot about her Buddhist beliefs, and I respect her Buddhist beliefs a lot because Buddhism teaches a lot about respecting all life. And I asked her if there was any animal that she didn't care about, and I pointed out the example of, like, insects. Do you care about insects? Which I personally don't care about. Mosquitoes. I hate mosquitoes. And she said, I respect all life forms. I care about all life, including insects. And I think that's a very noble thing to do, and I respect that completely. So to the dumbass motherfuckers who say you're being a hypocrite for eating plants if you're a vegetarian, well, obviously their line is drawn at all animals. They are in favor for protecting animals, but they draw the line at that point. Plants are acceptable to eat because that is the line that they drew. It doesn't make them wrong, it doesn't make them right, it's just their opinion, and you have to respect that opinion. Just like I respect somebody who feels like abortion is right or wrong because of their opinion. There is no right or wrong in this. It's just our opinions. It's our point of view. Some people only care about humans, and they don't care about other organisms, and that's their opinion. However, I would say you should care about other organisms because we share our planet with them. They are precious. They are important, and that's why we have to care about them. It is your opinion. If you only care about humans, then that's your problem. I'll say this much, though. Christianity seems to preach only about respecting human life. They don't care about other animals on this planet at all. It doesn't talk about them. It only talks about human beings. And that's why Christianity it's not a good religion, if that's the case. It's one of the reasons why it's not a good religion, because you have to care about at least some of the other organisms on our planet. So we shouldn't really criticize people who decide to shift their line more to the left and include more organisms. I think that the more organisms you include and encompass inside of your collection of organisms that you care about, I think that's better. The more that you care about, the better that you are, a better person you are. So that's just why we should respect other life forms. And understanding how vegetarians think, that's how they think. Okay, and finally, I want to talk briefly about animal testing. I think that is the most barbaric and cruel thing I've ever seen. A lot of people are so ignorant about how drugs are tested on animals. They literally inject animals with experimental drugs. Thousands of animals are killed every year. Actually, millions of animals are killed every year for drug testing. And it's horrible and it's wrong. I suggest to everyone to look at the Covance hidden camera videos that PETA have revealed to the public. They are extremely, extremely violent. They are extremely disturbing. Not a lot of people can watch them because they are that disturbing. However, it's important to watch it because that's the reality of what's going on here. Animal testing should not be done. Hunting should not be done, and everyone should respect animals. Because I respect animals, and I feel like you become a better person if you respect all organisms on this planet.